Welcome back, everybody. I am Halftime Howie. This is Broadcasting on the Beach. Please, if you love pets, cats and dogs especially, raise your hand. Well, by the way, my lovely wife is in the audience tonight. My lovely wife, Jerry. With a great friend, Carol. Whose grandson, by the way, was just voted one of the top 5 babies in all of Long Island. How cool is that? But my wife and I are blessed. We're dog lovers. In 30 years, we've had 2 dogs. So we've been blessed. We had a standard poodle for 17 years. Our beloved Cagney, and now our little Chloe toy poodle is 13. So we've been pretty lucky. We've been doing something right. But a lot of people don't do right by their dogs, meaning they don't feed them the right foods. And that's where our passion for pets reporter comes in, who wrote a book, Home Cooking for Your Dog. There you go. So without further ado, let's hear it for our passion for pets reporter, Christine Filoni.
Thank you so much. Incidentally, it is a great present for the holidays, and is hopefully not the only great work of my life. But on a more serious note, I am going to discuss briefly the real tragic case that is truly every responsible dog owner's worst nightmare. The tragic death of Amir Dunstan, who is the 9-year-old from Baldwin who died last Sunday after being attacked by a pit bull. So, of course, this kind of story, as a dog lover, I have had pit bulls. I had an aggressive dog. I can see this story from many angles, and it's heart-wrenching. First of all, we lost the 9-year-old, which is, I can't even imagine what that poor child went through. Incredibly tragic. The owner of the dog, Carlisle Arnold, lived on the 2nd floor of that home. It was a 2-year-old pit bull named Kane, who actually was referred to by Arnold as Beast in a Facebook post, which, you know, when you see that on Facebook, which I did look at the post, you know, you can kind of extrapolate that this was a very strong and powerful dog, and he was very proud of it. Now, like I said, look at this from many angles. I actually was told by a source that this was a home where the child was actually getting daycare. That's not what's in the paper, so I'm not sure. Regardless, whether you're putting your child in a home for daycare or it was a play date, I want to know, first of all, why the parent did not know what was going on in that home. If you have a large dog running around the yard, my question is, where was the owner? And why didn't the parent of this young child know that there was a dog running around in this yard? You know, today we're all really, careful with our children. God knows I don't even let my dogs out of my sight. So these are just all questions that kind of go through my head when I see a story like this. Dogs are very protective. Anybody who has a dog knows a dog in a yard, in a fenced-in yard, is going to bark. Some dogs are going to attack. German Shepherds are working dogs. That type of a dog will attack. And I'm certainly not taking sides in this story because I think it's tragic, and I think at the end of the day, you need to know what kind of dog you have, and owner is responsible. So I want to say a special thank you to attorney Mark Freely, who is the North Shore injury lawyer. He helped me with this. I wanted to know a little more about the case, and I wanted to know a little bit more about New York State law. He is an attorney, and he is also a volunteer with Last Chance Animal Rescue. He does a lot of great work with them, and he does a lot of pro bono work for them. He wrote a really great article that I think all dog owners should at least read, called When Are Dog Owners Responsible for Injuries Caused by Their Dogs in New York? Once again, the article that Mark wrote is entitled, When Are Dog Owners Responsible for Injuries Caused by Their Dogs in New York? This article you can find at his website, which is www.northshoreinjurylawyer.com. And they're not always responsible, incidentally. There is something in New York State called strict liability. And you would not think New York is so dog-friendly, but in fact, it is one of the most friendly states, dog-friendly states, when it comes to owners being held liable for dog-related injuries. And actually, just this June, one of New York's highest courts upheld this theory that you need to show a theory of strict liability for an owner to actually be responsible. You just can't base it on a claim of negligence, which, if you're a dog owner, always comes into your mind. I, as everyone knows, bring my dogs to the beach off leash regularly, and I'm always worried my dog is going to jump on somebody or hurt them. In a case like that, I would not be liable because there's not enough strict liability there where my dog running off leash jumping on somebody is going to put me in a compromised position. However, like I said before, owners need to know their dogs. There are 3 essential facts that need to be proven to uphold strict liability. You are responsible as a dog owner if these 3 things can be proven. And I think it's very timely with this incident. You have to prove that the dog actually created an injury and bit somebody. You have to prove that the dog had vicious propensities. For example, that there was a prior bite. And you also have to prove that the dog's owner knew or should have known about the dog's vicious propensities. Clearly in this case, all 3 things hold true. It's pointless now because this child has passed away. But nonetheless, I think that as dog owners, we bear the responsibility and the burden of knowing our dog. I can't speak for the owner of this dog, Mr. Arnold. We don't know where he was that day, why his dog was running around in a yard. Clearly he knew he had a very strong animal that he referred to as Beast. I had my own experience with this, so this goes right to my heart. I had rescued a very aggressive dog who over time got worse and worse and did in fact bite somebody on my property. I was horrified. He severely punctured a person's arm. Now, I had told this person, do not come into my apartment, you need to call me or text me. She did not follow protocol that day. She was rushing, she forgot. And I'm home and I see her open my door and I know exactly what's going to happen. My dog latched onto her arm and it was not a nice scene. So for me, this story is especially like I can understand. That dog is no longer here because I could not possibly bear any further responsibility for an animal that clearly was not going to abide by my rules. And at the end of the day, as much as I love my pets, they don't make policy. So I just want to encourage dog owners, we really need to know the dog we have. Of course, there's always going to be irresponsible pet owners, but we also need to know if we have children or for ourselves, we need to know where we're sending our kids. We need to know what kind of a home we're walking into. We need to be a little bit more aware of the things going on around us now. A lot of people have dogs. I have plenty of times had dogs run toward me, my dogs, while my dogs are leashed. I've been bitten a few times. So we really need to stop on our phone, stop texting and walking our dogs. I see so many people talking with their extendable leashes. You know, we really all have to start being a little bit more aware, and it's really a tragic story. There will be no happy ending to this. We have a dead child, we have a dead dog, and we have an owner that perhaps doesn't even care. But I once again want to thank Attorney Mark Freely, North Shore Injury Lawyer. He writes a lot of good articles about this kind of stuff at his website. He's doing a lot of great work. He's helping dog owners and also the victims of dog bites. So, of course, always, if you have any more questions, you can always contact me here at the Halftime Howie Show, or you can contact me at boundmeowraw.com if you want to purchase a cookbook for the holidays on a happier note. Thanks so much.
Great job, Christine. All right.